Welcome inside another exciting edition of The Agenda. And Sarah, it's a big one in more ways than one. It's our 7th episode, lucky number 7 already. Can you believe it?
I cannot believe that. That's hard to believe. It's already been 7 months, but it's been a fun 7 months. But this one may take the cake.
That's right. Fall is in full force, and we got some fun fall festivities we're looking forward to. Care to do the honors?
Let's take a look ahead.
Our evenings will soon be getting a little cooler, and in Port St. Lucie, you know what that means. River nights are back. Bring your chair or lawn blanket and enjoy a fun and relaxing evening overlooking the beautiful St. Lucie River. These events make for the perfect date night. Listen to live music and indulge in some delicious food and a cash bar. This fall, River Nights will be held at the site of the city's future Riverfront Park, just south of the Botanical Gardens on Westmoreland Boulevard.
On November 11th, the City of Port St. Lucie, along with the United Veterans of Port St. Lucie, will honor those who have served our country. Please join us at Veterans Memorial Park at 11 a.m. for this special Veterans Day ceremony. Seating is limited, so please bring along a lawn chair to guarantee a seat. Come and see why Port St. Lucie is a hometown for heroes.
What are you going to dress up for Halloween?
I'm not sure yet, Ben.
Well, Sarah, once you decide, you can show off your costume at several Halloween events around the city. Last month, we told you about Fall Fun Fest at the Civic Center. That will be the weekend of October 26th. You don't want to miss out on one of the main attractions of the event, the costume contest, Saturday night at 6 p.m. And if that isn't enough, the Parks and Recreation Department will also have the haunted house time at the Minsky Gym for all of our little ones Thursday morning before the weekend kicks off.
And you can top off all the Halloween festivities at the Port St. Lucie Botanical Gardens at Boo-Tanical Halloween Celebration. Trick or treat on Halloween night in the secure and serene gardens. Join our ghosts, ghouls, and goblins in their search for goodies, candies, and more. And those who are up for a scare can take a journey on the Haunted Hayride. This is a free event and open to children up to 13 years old and their families. Children must be accompanied by an adult. Check out our website for a roundup of all the Halloween happenings organized by the city.
Speaking of hayrides, you can keep that fall feeling going by attending our popular Bonfire and Hayride at PSL's McCarty Ranch Preserve. We had so much fun at this event earlier this year that we're bringing it back for a second time in 2018. Bring your partner and all the little buckaroos, too. There will be live music, as well as a petting zoo, pony rides, horseback riding, a fishing tournament, and of course, hay rides for everybody. Food will be available for purchase, and this has become a PSL tradition for many families, so come on out, enjoy the fun. As you can see, the city's Parks and Recreation Department always has a packed calendar.
And now you have the opportunity to help shape that calendar and the department's overall vision for the next 10 years.
The city is working on its 10-year Parks and Recreation Master Plan with the help of its consultant, Dr. David Barth of Barth Associates. The master plan will identify residents' priorities for parks and recreation facilities and programs, develop a long-range vision to respond to priorities, and create a phased approach to funding and implementation.
So here's your chance to be part of the process. Please make plans to attend one of 2 upcoming public workshops at Minsky Gym and the Civic Center Gymnasium. The workshops will give our residents the opportunity to provide feedback to the planning team through a series of exercises and conversations to help plan the future of our Parks and Recreation Department.
You may have noticed some new homes just to the south of the PSL Botanical Gardens. Well, they aren't exactly new. With the city's council support, staff sought and received grant funding to save these historic structures. The Peacock House was built in 1917, and the Peacock Lodge was built in 1952. The grant from the Florida Division of Historical Resources paid for the relocation of the homes from the former Peacock Ranch in the western part of the city. They were moved to Port St. Lucie's future Riverfront Park site just off Westmoreland Boulevard. Now that they have been moved, the city is seeking grant funding to pay for the restoration of the 2 pieces of PSL history, and they will integrate them into the future park.
The next time you visit Port St. Lucie's Jessica Clinton Park, please take a moment to reflect at the new memorial plaque that was recently unveiled and dedicated to honor the park's namesake. This year marks the 15th anniversary of Jessica Clinton's passing.
She was only 17 years old when she died suddenly following a cheerleading practice at St. Lucie West Centennial High School. It was determined that she had a severe heart condition, not detected in previous medical examinations. Since her passing, Jessica's family has done so much good for our community by starting the Jessica Clinton MVP Foundation, which is dedicated to expanding CPR and AED training and providing AEDs to schools, parks, playgrounds, and recreational facilities throughout the state.
Beautiful.
We weren't aware. We talked with the mayor months ago, telling him that it will be 15 years and that how the city has changed and grown, and not a lot of people that come to the park may not know who Jessica Clinton was. So the city surprised us and said, wouldn't it be nice if we had put out a plaque and do a little something so the people that are coming into Port St. Lucie would know who she was. After we lost Jessica, they said an AED, a small machine, could have saved her life. So we were like, what's an AED, and let's see what we can do. So that's how the foundation started, and then we continued to say, wouldn't it be nice to catch kids before they needed the AED? So we started the heart screening, and we've been doing the heart screening for over 7 years, and we screen kids between the ages of 5 and 20.
Whenever I would exercise and my muscles would expand, there was a possibility, and it was a great possibility, that perhaps my left coronary could have been crushed and then I would have just dropped dead instantly.
Oh, the screening had saved my life. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for the screening. I mean, every time that I see Jessica's name somewhere or that I see the foundation, I have to give thanks to God. It was just a miracle that occurred in my life that I'm extremely grateful for.
Jessica was born and raised in Port St. Lucie. She was very involved in the schools. Jessica was homecoming queen. She was president of the student council. She was captain of the cheerleading squad. She was dual enrolled in college, and she just wanted to do everything. And we used to tell Jessica, you can't do it all. And she used to say, watch me. So it's no surprise that 15 years later, that all of you have come to still celebrate her.
It's an incredible likeness. And backstage, Jessica Clinton Park, it's not how long you live, but how you live and what you leave behind. And what an amazing legacy Jessica's left behind for us, everybody, in her city of Port St. Lucie. So we'll remember her today and every day. Thank you for everything that you do.
Are we ready? Okay. It's an issue that's been making headlines across the country, the fragile state of Florida's waterways.
Since 2016, the city has been working on a study to find the hot spots of pollution in our local canals and tributaries that lead to the North Fork of the St. Lucie River.
Now the city is ready to move that study up to the next level. Port St. Lucie and Florida Atlantic University's Harbor Branch Oceanographic Institute are working together to continue a large-scale study to help find local solutions to aid the health of the river. Harbor Branch scientists will now focus on a more detailed study of the sites that showed higher levels of bacteria and other pollution.
It will also study and monitor the interactions of septic systems and surface water and will help distinguish between nutrient sources such as wastewater, stormwater runoff, and fertilizers. The ultimate goal of this second phase of the study, which should be complete in 1 year, is to help find tangible solutions to improve water quality.
Speaking of the health of our precious natural resources, the local Marine Resources Council recently presented its Indian River Lagoon Health Update at the Port St. Lucie Civic Center. Scientists said this was the first comprehensive lagoon-wide ecological health assessment of the Indian River Lagoon.
What we needed was a baseline that we can move forward and see things change over time.
To hear all of their findings on this important issue, you can watch the entire presentation on the city's YouTube channel or on PSL TV 20. After conducting several public hearings in September, the Port St. Lucie City Council has formally adopted its budget for the new fiscal year. A big takeaway from this budget is that the council has once again reduced the city's tax rate, also known as the millage rate, or the amount charged per $1,000 of taxable property value, for the third year in a row. The new millage rate for the city is 6.3 mils, which equates to a reduction of 1/10 of a mil from last fiscal year. PSL's Jobs Corridor in the Southern Grove section of Tradition is coming to life.
The city of Port St. Lucie was proud to be a part of the groundbreaking celebration for TAMCO's new 400,000 square foot manufacturing and distribution facility.
The city also celebrated the groundbreaking of what we call the Loop Road, officially Tom Mackey Boulevard and Trade Center Drive. This project was made possible thanks to a $3 million State of Florida Job Growth Grant to support local economic development.
We're here today. We're at a groundbreaking event for the Project Bourbon building, which is the new home of TAMCO as when it gets completed. And what I would like to say is honestly just a big thank you to all the people that have helped make this project come from an idea or a thought to a reality. So, and then that's all over from the city to the state, the county, and as well as our team members on our side.
For the county, for the city of Port St. Lucie to be working so well together, I think is just a great example of how the community can come together.
And it has to come together in a way that makes a company like CES and TAMCO feel like, you know what, they're real. They know what they're talking about, and we know this is going to be a good partnership, and we know we can be successful there because of how they're working together. It's incredibly important for both the project and then also Loop Road.
That road is critically important for us to attract and retain other employers, manufacturers, distributors, etc.
$3.5 million grant that came to the city that allows us to be able to create this connectivity within this nice industrial area that we hope to continue to grow and allow access to these important partners that are going to provide jobs, economic opportunity to our local area.
So the infrastructure, having a ready-to-go site, is critical for our efforts to do more of this.
For our tradition, for our 4 miles, for our jobs corridor, this is the start. TAMCO City Electric is the start of a new city, a new county, really a new world for us.
We are on the doorstep. We are on the threshold, and the door is opening to success. And it's projects like today that we're celebrating that make that a reality.
It's not just a big deal for St. Lucie County or Port St. Lucie, it's the whole state. The whole state shares in the benefit of all this.
I think Port St. Lucie has a strong place in TAMCO's heart and with CES's heart. They employ a lot of people here. And that 95 corridor is a lot of visibility. We've spent a lot of time and effort in designing the lighting and the landscaping. We think that people are going to like it. It's definitely a good location.
There's nothing more important and nothing that we would cherish more to see more groundbreakings, more plant openings, and more great jobs for our families and residents here. So it's a special day for us.
TAMCO currently employs over 200 workers in Port St. Lucie, and this expansion will add at least 50 more jobs. As for Loop Road, it's expected to open up even more desirable areas in Southern Grove to job-creating development.
Well, in case you missed it, the Saints Golf Course turned out to be the perfect location for a gathering of our region's best young female golfers.
Port St. Lucie's Municipal Golf Course hosted the second annual St. Lucie County Girls High School Championship. 21 girls from 6 different schools competed at the event. Awards were given out based on best teams and best individuals' efforts at the award ceremony held on the patio of the 19th hole. PSL City Councilman John Carvelli says he worked with area coaches to put the championship together a few years ago with the goal of attracting more girls to the sport.
We're trying to make this a first-class event for the high school girls that play golf in St. Lucie County. We also hope that it helps to attract more girls to the sport. There's so many scholarship opportunities, and we'd like to see the girls receive some of those scholarships ultimately.
Also in attendance was State Representative Gail Harrell. Acting as a guest speaker, she talked about the importance of participating in girls' sports and the opportunities of building relationships through golf.
It's so important that they continue with golf, that they really learn the sportsmanship that this whole team effort is all about, and they're going to go on and become true leaders.
Councilman Carvelli says he hopes to make the event an annual tradition at the Saints.
The talented residents of the Treasure Coast recently showed off their skills from singing to dancing to playing their own music at the Parks and Recreation Department's annual talent show. We had some incredible performances and awarded winners in 3 categories: teen, youth, and adult. Remember, this is an annual event and it's never too early to start preparing your act for next year. A photo gallery of the show can be found on the city's Facebook page, and video highlights from the event can be found on PSL TV 20 and the city's YouTube channel.
We want to thank everyone who came out and picked up a free tree at Keep Port St. Lucie Beautiful's tree giveaway in September.
It was amazing to hear the stories of our residents who planted one for a loved one.
I really enjoyed this event today at the park because we are new residents. We just moved to Port St. Lucie beginning of August. We were excited to get our first tree in our new property.
I didn't expect that there was going to be the educational part, so that was really, I thought it was nice that you got to learn about the plants and so I could actually let them live and help them thrive.
This tree giveaway has another little theme that's special, plant one for a loved one, and that's for kids to say, hey, mommy and daddy, or grandma and grandpa, I want to plant this tree for you, and they plant it in their name, or maybe in memory of someone that they love and that they've lost.
My mom did pass away from cancer, 19 years ago, and I guess we can plant that in honor of her.
I'm actually expecting my first baby. I'm about 5 months pregnant, and I figure I want to plant a tree in the yard that will grow. Sounds kind of cheesy, but it'll grow over the next few years and just have a shade tree. Just bought our first house, so we don't really have a lot of trees in the yard, so I thought it was a good way to be part of the community and get it that way.
We are here to get a tree for one of our musical directors that passed away. His name is Mr. Rios, a lovely gentleman, very lovable person, and we're getting a tree to dedicate it to him on the church property.
So to help the tree challenge, we created tree slips that residents fill out, and we're helping them by logging it into the system. It gets people excited about their properties, and when you're planting beautiful trees, it increases the value of the property, and everyone wins in the neighborhood and our city. We want to attract the best to the city of Port St. Lucie, and this is helping to do it.
Thanks to an incredible collaboration between the Treasure Coast Builders Association, St. Lucie Habitat for Humanity, and the city of Port St. Lucie, a dream home was recently built in just 7 days. And that dream home will be home sweet home for Chris and Latasha Blackman and their 3 kids. It was built on one of 7 city-owned residential lots recently allocated to St. Lucie Habitat for Humanity from the city's Neighborhood Stabilization Program. It's all in an effort to create more affordable home ownership opportunities in Port St. Lucie. Thanks to all the volunteers who helped make it happen. We wish the Blackman family the best of luck in their new home.
Get excited and get ready,
because it's time for another rapid-fire round of Mark Your Calendar. Here's an ideal way to spend a fall weekend in Florida. The Saints Golf Course is hosting its annual golf tournament the first weekend in November. There's still time to sign up to participate in the 2018 Saints Fall Classic Golf Championship Tournament. The entry deadline is Wednesday, October 24th, so come on out and catch all the exciting action at the Saints.
The city's free Friday concert series at the PSL Civic Center continues. In October, local country music fans had a treat watching the Tom Jackson Band. Stay tuned to the city's website to see who will be performing in November.
The city's one-stop garage sale is back. Come out to the Civic Center parking garage the 4th Sunday of every month to buy or sell some treasures. This is a fun opportunity for vendors of all types to sell their crafts, wares, and food all at one free event.
This month, we're putting the spotlight on not just one employee, but a whole group of hardworking City of PSL staffers. They are the face of the city and make up the front lines when working with many of our customers 7 days a week.
The first week in October was Customer Service Appreciation Week, so we want to thank all of our dedicated customer service employees throughout the city. Thanks also to local business Bagel and Bean Company for recognizing our utility systems customer service employees and treating them to a delicious breakfast to kick off Customer Service Appreciation Week.
Well, that's what's on the agenda this month, but in Port St. Lucie, there's new events happening all the time, so be sure to follow the city on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to make sure you don't miss a thing.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for all of our latest video content, including every episode of The Agenda. And as always, if you're looking for more information on what was covered this episode, including all of our exciting upcoming festivals and tournaments, visit the city's website at cityofpsl.com.
I'm Sarah Prohaska.
And I'm Benjamin Elliott. We'll see you next time on The Agenda.